Hey, folks, welcome. We are going to try a brand new process, and my goal is to record in 17-minute increments. And the reason I'm doing that is because I found when I watch a video about all I can tolerate of someone else is 17 minutes. So we're going to try to live by that from video number one all the way to the end of our series. So we're going to open up American Truck Simulator here and start a brand new profile from scratch, keeping true to a 17-minute title, which means that we probably won't even have setup done within 17 minutes, but it doesn't matter because that is our restriction. So, first thing I want to do is to turn off this music. Oh my goodness, I do not like having this music on in the background. So, a UI music off and music volume off. No music allowed. And I think pretty much than that, our controls are set up the way I like. I think maybe one thing I want to do is add some turn signals. Let's see if turn signals are in this thing. Well, keys and buttons. That's what I'm looking for. Left indicator. There we go. Right indicator. Okay. I think other than that, I'm set the way I like. Gameplay is fatigue simulation is on. Traffic offenses are off because I tell you they are so darn picky, and I'll talk more about later that in the game. Random road events is only at 1%. Rain probability is at 1%. Detours are off. In real life, when you have a detour, you might detour for a mile or two or 7 or 10. But boy, sometimes you have 100-mile detours when you have a detour on. So that's unrealistic. Real automatic on the transmission. Most of these are pretty default. And that's the way I like it. Graphics turned all the way up. And that's wonderful. So let's go to, matter of fact, I tell you what, when I go to manage profile and start a new profile, I want to use that same old guy picture that I had before. I call him Edward Seagull because he looks like he's a tugboat captain. Really a lot of character in his face. Where is Edward Seagull? There he is. And we're going to call our company Seagull Trucking. We like the Western Star. And our logo is going to be this wonderful American eagle. Create. So we need to get the mod manager here, and I'm going to be a little Spartan with the mods right away. I love ProMod Canada, one thing I absolutely insist on. And GTM collections usually don't do me too wrong. I'm not going to explain every mod that I install. Cab Cats, I think, is fantastic. This Peterbilt 350 is great. I don't mind having the Border Patrol for the F-150, F-450 pickup trucks. But I'm going to be rather Spartan. This mud flap one is kind of cool. I do like the wide view for chasing and top down. Unleash the Beast offers horns. That's kind of fun. Georgia Pacific on the paint design. And there's a couple others. And the reason I choose those is because the real companies and gas stations is an absolute necessity. Um, the reason I choose that is because in the early game, painting your truck can be very expensive. And if you choose Georgia Pacific and a couple of other ones, you can get away with a much cheaper paint design, especially in the early game. I might revisit some of these a little later on, but initially, real world signs and logos, that's great. Real advertisements, that's good. Real brands on AI trailers, that's good. PWS Enterprises is another paint option for spending a lot less money initially on painting the trucks. The 352, 362 project trucks are fantastic. Now, here's some cheats. I will use one cheat, and the by default, the early loan is limited to $1 million. And I find I can't do a lot with that $1 million. So one of my early goals is to get my employed truckers earning money as fast as possible. So basically, Lone Star is really good for having a cheap paint design. Los Pollos Hermanos is from the Breaking Bad television series, which I absolutely love. I always add that in. Um, but the cheat that I do have is a bank cheat, which allows a $2 million loan. I don't believe in getting all the money and all the XP immediately. I do like to earn those as I go along, but 2 million frees you up to expand just a little bit faster than default. So I do choose that. It's the one cheat that I really do enjoy. Okay. Uh, Seeing these classic automobiles in the world is fantastic. I don't mind the Greyhound bus. Dayton Marshall Field Hudson is probably the cheapest paint design that you can have. And again, later on in the game, I go back and I upgrade the paint to some more expensive varieties. But initially, I want to get my drivers. Canada Cartage is a good one. I want to get my drivers up and running and earning money for me. And then later on, I can worry about how pretty their truck is. Better Call Saul, again, is from the Breaking Bad series. Better textures for the bus. This is it. Bank loan expansion. This is the one that is helpful in building my empire. Wonderful. That'll get us on the road. Confirm changes. I think I am otherwise okay. Automatic controls, steering wheel, real automatic, And there's brake axis is right there. Accelerator axis is right there. Steering axis is right here. Shift up right there. Shift down right there. We have 6 minutes to go in our 17-minute limit, and I hope that by keeping these videos to 17 minutes, you're more likely to stay around with me. I'm going to choose Evanston, Wyoming as my starting point, and the reason I do that is I want the early loads to make a lot of money, and this I-80 corridor through Nevada, Utah, and Wyoming is all at 80 miles an hour. Which means I can drive really fast on the interstate routes. Also, I want the starting city to be small because my first garage will be a one-bay garage, and I don't want to ever lose that. If you start the game and upgrade that one-bay garage, you will never again in the whole game ever have an opportunity to have a one-bay garage. So keep that one bay, and then when it's time to expand, buy a whole new garage somewhere else. And then you can expand those to 3-bay and 5-bay garages at your heart's content, but you'll always have access to that 1-bay garage. Here we go. Welcome to American Truck Simulator. At last, you have the chance to experience your dream job driving a truck. You own your own transportation company is now open for business, but sadly, you lack the money to buy a truck. For now, you'll have to work for other companies as you drive for hire. Your task is to safely deliver a load of flour to Walmart store dock in Evanston. Your employer has provided you with the vehicle and will cover all expenses. Don't let anyone down and arrive on time. And a beautiful cutscene of Evanston, Wyoming, as we went through that introduction. $446 to carry this flour. And I chose Western Star Truck. It is my favorite, and we will be privileged to drive a Western Star in our very first move. Here we are in the Western Star. Oh, need to set up a couple more buttons. Let's go to Options, Keys and Buttons. And what I want to do is to have the left indicator right there, right indicator right there, cruise control on right there, cruise control resume right there, cruise control increase, cruise control decrease. Let's go to next camera right there and top-down camera right there. And that should get us started. Let's take a look at our load here. So I'm going to fire the buggy up, get into gear, and pull out. You can see what our load of flour looks like. Is it a UPS? It's a UPS trailer. Okay, great. F2 brings up my second mirror. This gate, the gate is going to open for me here. I'm going to go back and add in the fast open gates to my mods. Oh, well, look at that. I'm hung up already. Let's go to top-down view. Boy, I haven't done that in a long time. I was preoccupied with that gate opening. Bit busy boulevard, but we'll get out here in traffic. We have 1 minute and 36 seconds remaining in our 17 minutes, so we will not complete this first trip, I'm afraid. But I think it's a good rule to stand by that we keep the 17-minute condition. If while we are employed by others, I'm not going to alter the navigation. In other words, I'm not going to go off route intentionally. Beautiful 57 Bel Air. I love those classic cars. But if I see a point of interest that has yet to be discovered, I will divert to take that in, whether it be a dealership or a recruiting agency. And then later on, when we have our own truck, we will actually adjust the routing to get in as many of those cutscenes, dealerships, and recruiting agencies as possible. 14 seconds left. Let's escape. We will exit, save our game. And until next time, thank you for joining me. There goes the alarm. Stop recording.